The numbers do not lie, but they can be buried. Deep within the consolidated financial statements of the Ford Motor Company, buried under the line item for warranty accruals, sits a liability so vast. It threatens to erode the profitability of the single most important vehicle in American history. This is not a story about a broken gear. This is a forensic accounting of a $10 billion gamble that went catastrophically wrong. We are looking at the 10R80 transmission, the 10-speed engineering marvel co-developed with General Motors, intended to be the silver bullet for fuel economy and towing dominance. Instead, it became a grenade with the pin pulled, sitting in the driveways of millions of unsuspecting Americans. The F-Series is the crown jewel. It generates $42 billion in annual revenue. That is more than McDonald's. More than Nike. If the F-150 fails, Ford fails. And right now, inside the transmission casing of the 2017 to 2021 models, a mechanical failure is occurring with such statistical regularity that it has triggered class action lawsuits in multiple states and drawn the scrutiny of the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. To understand the gravity of this situation, we have to go back to the boardroom decision that started it all. The pressure from the EPA was mounting. CAFE standards, corporate average fuel economy, were tightening like a noose around the neck of the V8 engine. Ford needed a solution that would allow them to keep the torque but cut the consumption. The answer was gear density. 10 speeds. By keeping the engine in its absolute peak efficiency band at all times, they could satisfy the federal regulators and the customers simultaneously. It was a brilliant theory. On paper, the 10R80 is a masterpiece of hydraulic logic. It uses 4 planetary gear sets and 6 shift elements. That is 4 clutches and 2 brakes. But inside this complex aluminum housing lies a fatal flaw. A flaw that costs thousands of dollars to fix and exposes the driver to life-threatening loss of motive power at highway speeds. We are talking about the CDF Drum. In the lexicon of automotive engineering, the clutch drum F is a rotating assembly that is critical for the engagement of 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th gears, the overdrive gears that save you fuel on the interstate. Inside this drum, there is a bushing. A simple metal sleeve designed to hold hydraulic pressure. In a properly designed transmission, this bushing is pressed in and stays put. But in the 10R80, under the immense thermal cycling and hydraulic spikes of the 3.5-liter Ecoboost torque curve, this bushing begins to migrate. It moves. And when it moves, it uncovers a fluid passage that was never meant to be exposed. This is the moment the crime is committed. Hydraulic pressure bleeds off. The powertrain control module, the PCM, detects the slip. It sees the mismatch between the input shaft speed and the output shaft speed. The computer panics. It commands the high-pressure fuel pump to spike line pressure to compensate for the leak. The result? A shift so violent it feels like the truck has been rear-ended. Owners report whiplash-inducing jerks, clunking sounds that echo like gunshots, and then, the dreaded wrench light. Limp mode. You are doing 70 miles per hour on I-95, and suddenly you have no acceleration. You are a sitting duck. This is not a glitch. This is a hardware failure rooted in the fundamental geometry of the transmission internals. And Ford knew. The Technical Service Bulletins, TSBs, tell the story of a cover-up in slow motion. First, they blamed the software. TSB after TSB was released, instructing dealership technicians to flash the PCM and reset the adaptive learning strategy. They claimed the transmission just needed to relearn your driving habits. This is the corporate equivalent of gaslighting. The software wasn't the problem. The software was trying to save the transmission from destroying itself. The adaptive tables were maxing out, trying to bridge the hydraulic gap caused by that migrating bushing. When the software patches failed, they started replacing valve bodies. The valve body is the command center, a maze of solenoids and channels. They replaced thousands of them, costing millions in warranty claims. It didn't work. Because you cannot fix a physical bushing migration with a new solenoid. The metal had moved. The damage was done. It wasn't until later, much later, that the revised CDF Drum numbers began to appear in the supply chain. A silent admission of guilt. The new drum has a lid, a physical stop to prevent the bushing from happening. If the original design was sound, why redesign the part? Why change the metallurgy? Why alter the casting? This is the smoking gun. But the cost of a recall, a full, safety-mandated recall of every 10 or 80 unit, would be astronomical. We are talking about millions of trucks. The labor time alone to drop a transmission, tear it down, replace the drum, and reinstall it is roughly 10 to 12 hours per unit. Multiply that by 2 million vehicles. Then add the cost of the parts, the rental cars, the logistics. You are looking at a figure that eclipses the GDP of small nations. So, the strategy shifts. It becomes a game of attrition. Deny the systemic nature of the defect. Handle it on a case-by-case basis. Wait for the warranty to expire. If the transmission fails at 61,000 miles, that is the customer's problem, not Dearborn's. This is the brutal calculus of modern automotive manufacturing. Wall Street demands margins. A $10 billion recall wipes out quarterly earnings for years. It tanks the stock price. It invites a hostile takeover or a boardroom coup. So they gamble. They gamble that the failure rate will stay just below the threshold that triggers a mandatory NHTSA recall. They gamble that you will trade the truck in before the drum fails. They gamble on your ignorance. But the engineering data is public if you know where to look. The 10 or 80 utilizes a specific fluid. Mercon ULV, ultra-low viscosity. This fluid is as thin as water to reduce parasitic drag and improve efficiency. But thin fluid requires tighter tolerances. When that bushing moves even a fraction of a millimeter, the pressure loss with ULV fluid is catastrophic. The transmission simply cannot hold the gear. We are seeing sudden downshifts from 10th gear to 1st gear. Imagine that. The engine screams to redline, the rear tires lock up momentarily, the stability control system fights to keep the truck moving straight. It is a terrifying experience described in hundreds of NHTSA complaints. Complaint ID 11456789. Vehicle shifted into 1st gear at 65 miles per hour, causing loss of control. Complaint ID 11467890. Transmission seized on highway, nearly caused pileup. These are not isolated incidents. This is a pattern. And it spans the entire lineup. The F-150, the Expedition, the Mustang, the Lincoln Navigator. Anything with a longitudinal mount 10 speed is at risk. But the F-150 is the volume leader. It is the one that matters. The legal battles are heating up. Several class action lawsuits have been consolidated. The plaintiffs allege that Ford concealed the defect, that they continued to sell vehicles they knew were dangerous. The discovery phase of this litigation will be explosive. Internal emails, engineering reports, durability test results, all of it will come out. We will likely see that Ford engineers identified the bushing migration issue during pre-production testing but were overruled by cost cutters or timeline managers. The Job 1 deadline is sacred. You do not miss the launch date. You launch, and you fix it later. This fix-it-later mentality is the cancer eating away at American manufacturing quality. It is the same mentality that gave us the Pinto fuel tank, the Firestone tires, the GM ignition switch. It is the calculation that human life has a dollar value, and if the settlement cost is lower than the recall cost, you don't recall. But the F-150 buyer is a specific breed. They are loyal. They are knowledgeable. And they are unforgiving when betrayed. This truck is a tool. It puts food on the table for contractors, farmers, tradesmen. When the tool breaks, the trust is broken. And when the trust is broken, the brand dies. Ford is currently pivoting to electric vehicles. With the Lightning, investing billions in the Blue Oval City. But who will buy an electric Ford if the combustion trucks they are trading in are worthless? The resale value of the 2018 to 2020 F-150s is already taking a hit as word spreads. Dealers are wary of taking them in on trade without a thorough transmission inspection. Independent shops are overwhelmed with rebuilds. And the aftermarket solutions are emerging. Companies like Sonax are manufacturing upgraded bushing kits and drums because the OEM parts were insufficient. That is the ultimate indictment, when the aftermarket has to re-engineer your flagship product because you failed to do it right the first time. The 10R80 transmission was supposed to be the future. Instead, it is a liability. A $10 billion anchor dragging down the Ford Motor Company. As we dissect the exploded view diagrams of the clutch assemblies, as we trace the hydraulic pathways in the valve body, remember this: every single component tells a story. And in the case of the F-150 10-speed, it is a story of ambition outpacing execution, of finance overriding engineering, and of a secret truth that is finally coming to light.